writing and solving equations. So down below, that's something it's gonna look like. So Melody has a new job recording for the All-Time Favorites record label. Whoa. She is paid a monthly base salary of $4,850 plus $3. Let's highlight that whole thing for each CD sold. So, I'll give you guys a second to try and figure out how to solve this. Well, the first one, let's look at it like this. It's exactly what they say. If 4,850 plus 3 for each CD sold, so that means this right here means we're going to be multiplying by it. So that's where, this will change. So 3 times 0, right? We want to 3 times 0. So that's what's going to happen here. So this answer will be 4,850. All right. So 1 will be 3 times, and now 1, we just plug in a 1 here and solve it. So my answer here will be 4,853. So why don't you guys try this, and I'll pause here. So here would be the answers. You just go up. Now, let me ask this question here. So let's write an expression for n CDs. So what do we think that would be? Well, let me put n in black, actually, so we could do the same that we did before, where you could see it like that. Try and solve this, and I'll pause here. 4,850 plus 3n. Okay? So that's how we can write it. So that's if we didn't know how many CDs that could find any amount. So let's look at some things on the other side to explain this. Alright, so I just rewrote it in a different order. We know we could do that because of commutative, the properties. So coefficient, that's the number that is next to the variable. The constant is the term that doesn't contain a variable. So copy that down. That's important because you're going to need to know that. And it might just be asked, and I don't want you guys to not know what that means. So find Melody's income if she sells 150 CDs. So we're going to use our expression. So let's use this expression, 3n plus 4,850. That's how we're going to solve this. So n equals 150. So let's try this. 3 times, I'll keep it in black so you guys can see what's happening. 150, that's in for n, plus 4,850. Okay? So, first step, 3 times 150, 450 plus 4,850. Now let's find out what this is. So it's $5,300. So let's assume that Melody made $6,000. Write an equation to find the number of CDs. So they just want you to write an equation. So usually it is, and I showed you guys this, it's something, in this case it's times n plus something equals total. So I would get this down because this is really going to help simplify these equations, because these can become complicated, but they don't need to be. So just plugging in the numbers, and I can do that here, and I'll write it better. 3n plus equals 6,000. So it'd be 3n plus 4,850 equal to 6,000. Okay, so that's it. The two parts of the equation. The coefficient, the constant equals the total. That's normally how this works. Actually, let me write that there. So coefficient times n, the variable, plus the constant equals the total. That's normally how, these equations will look. There's obviously differences or exceptions, but for now this is a pretty good start. So let's read this. Cell phone company charges $30 sign-up fee, then charges 5-cent text fee. The bill was $41.95. Write an equation to find how many texts you sent. Alright, so I've highlighted here the three main parts that are going to be in our equation. The only thing that's going to be a little tricky is this 5 cents, because I have to change that to a decimal in cents. So I'll put that over here. 5 cents equals 0.05, right? That's how I write 5 cents. So that's going to have to be used in the equation. That makes this a lot harder than it has to be. So first, let's define our variable. Our variable is the question. So x equal number of texts. This last question is where you can find your variable most times, okay? How many texts? Alright, so now let's use our formula for our equation. Alright, so if you write this down on your paper, and some of you guys might be able to do this by now, but if you write this down, this will really help simplify it. So the constant is 30, so plus 30 equals the total is what the bill is, so that's $41.95. And then the thing that changes that's connected to the x, well, that's your 5 cents. $0.05x plus 30 equals $41.95. That's my answer. I'd like you guys to take down these steps to solve an equation. This should help you with writing equations later. Now number 2 has an example. It's not always the case, and we haven't gotten to 3 yet. But these are normally the 3 steps. If you define your variable, it'll be a lot easier. So let's try this one. I'll pause here.